trading full-time is an absolute lie. I've been trading full-time for the last 3 years and I've documented the whole journey here on this YouTube channel. I started trading in 2019 and I actually went full-time in 2020. But when I did this, I actually had no sources of income, I did not make money from trading, and I was not profitable. So why did I do this? Well, because I wanted to give myself the highest chance of success in trading, and I thought that the way for me to do that was actually to quit my job and go full-time trading, where 100% of my focus is going into trading. But I did not know that this is not really the case. Now, I did have a lot more time in my hands because I was trading, learning to trade, I was in university, and I had a full-time job, and still I was able to do these three things and learn to trade. But in the 2 years of working full-time, or 1.5 years, I actually managed to save up to £10,000 that then allowed me to come full-time into Portugal, because this is where I have to be very thankful to my parents, because they allowed me to get back into their home to reduce my expenses by a lot. My expenses were around £200 per month maximum, and from the £10,000 that I had saved up, that was a lot of years that I had to dedicate towards trading. Now, this is where some people can say, hey, like, my parents don't support the idea. This is where, again, I'm very thankful for my parents, because even though they did not support the idea and the decision, because they were very frustrated that I gave up university, but they did support their son. And for that, I'm eternally grateful for my parents. And some people now might also say, but how can I get the approval of my parents? And I talked this through with my parents, and what they said is that once they started seeing that I'm waking up before they wake up and I'm going to sleep after they go to sleep, that they really was going after something. They didn't know what it was, but they did know that there was something. And so if you want some recommendations, it's 1, don't talk a lot about what you do, and 2, just show up consistently and work hard, because people notice when someone is working hard. Maybe they don't approve of it, but hey, this is your life, so you make your own decision. And so at this point, I was 20, I had 3 years and a dream. Funny enough, much of it is actually documented on this channel, and I'm actually very happy that I did. But it was like for 3 years, just waking up, going to the charts, learning every single day, like for 10 hours a day, with some procrastination in the middle, not spending too much money, and learning to trade. And that was the goal from the get-go, and that was the mission from the get-go. The thing is that now comes a point where the reality of trading full-time kicks in, because I'm not learning from other people 24/7, I'm learning from the market 24/7. But in reality, how many hours per day am I trading? Well, the best days that I have, I've been trading for around 2 hours. It's not more than that. And let me ask you, your best trading days, how long were you actually trading? Wasn't it like 1, 2, 3 hours? Was it 12? Probably not. And so what happens when you go full-time trading is that you were sold this dream that now it's all about parties, money, girls, cars, everything. You were sold an expectation when you were younger that you probably don't even want anymore. Personally, I can't be bothered with going out. I just genuinely can't. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so whatever I was sold in the beginning in terms of lifestyle, I'm not taking advantage of any of it. And every time I look back in terms of comparison of my life now and my life back then, I was way more productive, so to say, when I was working full-time, because I had 8 hours in my day which were completely scheduled for my 9 to 5. And now once you go full-time, you need to understand that as soon as you go full-time, those 8 hours are freed. And that's the biggest curse, but it's also the biggest blessing, because many of you want to give more attention to your family, and I think that's just so noble. Maybe you have kids, a wife, a girlfriend, whatever it is. And trading full-time does give you the opportunity to pursue more time with these people that you love. But if you really think about your life when you go full-time, I really need you to plan this out, which is, what do you expect to do when you go full-time? This is when you see other traders going into other different businesses. I know traders that have 7 figures in real estate. I know traders that have 7 figures worth of other businesses, 8 figures, 9 figures, huge businesses. But there are also traders, and that's because most people best trading is actually done in a couple of hours. Now, this is not to say that you don't need to spend a whole amount of time learning before you get to that stage. That's the real key, actually, because some people actually go full-time to pursue this idea of living freely, not understanding that when you go full-time, it's the perfect opportunity for you to now spend as much time as possible learning to trade. And only then will there come a point where you don't really need to be learning 24/7, because you've already achieved the consistency and the consistent way of looking at the charts. But now, in my 3rd year of trading full-time, I'm actually like hungry for something to do, like constantly. I'm only trading like 5 hours after I wake up because I've stopped trading London session, and now all of a sudden I need to wait for midday, trade for a couple of hours, and then go about my day again. Most of my time is spent at the charts telling myself, do not trade because it's not your time yet. And for the people that have experienced this, you know that you being in front of the charts and being told not to trade, it's the same thing as giving a kid candy and being like, don't touch that, don't eat, your time will come. Like, eventually, after a long time waiting, the kid is probably just going to go for it. Now, this is where, again, I need to protect myself here, because people can say, oh, he's not disciplined, whatever. But the reality really is that I believe that I'm a very disciplined person, but given enough challenges, sometimes I will fall for it. That's when my worst trading is done. And that's why you see people filling up their time with other things like real estate, YouTube, prop firms, whatever it is. Like, there's so many opportunities after you have so much free time on your hands every single day that building something else just becomes inevitable. And so where am I trying to get at? And it's the fact that sometimes we think that, oh, just when I go full time, oh, when I do this, then perfect, then I'm finally going to be profitable. But the reality is that every single step of your journey is going to have challenges. It genuinely doesn't matter where you are at now, because you will still have challenges. And skipping it is skipping the whole magic of life and even trading. There is this story of a kid that was in school, and he found an old lady on the street with a silver lining. I may be butchering this story a little bit. And the old lady said, if you want to go into the future, then you just pull on this silver lining and you will get there. Now, the problem is you will never be able to go back. And the kid was like, oh, perfect, so I'll just jump to summer. And so he pulled the line, and all of a sudden it's summer. And then he thought, oh my god, this really works. Now, what about if we jump school? I don't really like school. And so he pulled the line, and now he's in university. And he was like, oh, university is kind of hard, and so because of that, let's just jump university and let me get to a job. And so he pulled the line, and now he's in a job. And then he saw that he's a little bit lonely, and so he's like, oh, I just pulled this until I'm married. So he pulls that, oh my god, I missed my wedding. But now he's married and his wife is pregnant. They get the baby, and the baby is crying and whatsoever. The man was like, let me just pull this again, because just to jump this time where the baby is crying a lot. And all of a sudden, he is an elderly man, and he understands that he missed the point of life. He missed these setbacks. He missed that the magic of life is that you are going to have challenges. You are going to have setbacks. Life, trading, whatever it is that you are going through, there will be ups and downs, but that is the beauty of it. And once I heard this story, it really hit me. It's something that I've thought about a lot. And I look back into my years of trading, and I'm happy with all of the stages I've been through. And looking back, like I'm proud of myself for every step of the way. And that's what I really wish for you. I want you to look back for your first, second, third year of trading, wherever you are at right now, and be like, I gave it my all and I tried to do my best. And that's why I'm here now. But to not only talk about negatives, let's be honest, with the power of prop firms, for example, you have now time on your hands. With small investments, you can maybe, if you are profitable, be able to make your country's minimum wage in a couple of hours if you actually hone in on the skill. But this is where I have to ask you to do not be a gambler. Stay in your job a little bit more. Make sure that you are able to invest into these challenges without it being your last resort. Make sure that you have a backup. Make sure that you have money saved up and that prop firms are not the end all be all. And like that, it can change your trading journey, and your life. But you really need to give it time, because prop firms just made trading much more accessible, but that is a curse in of itself, because since it's more accessible, more people will be looking at it through a gambling lens. And so for the people that are watching, I really beg you to be very careful with the way that you approach prop firms. You don't want to go for prop firms, especially big challenges, if you have not yet proven to yourself that you are profitable. So believe me, there is time. So the idea is that you will become a better trader once you go full time, but I don't think that that is 100% the case. And the goal with this video is not only to tell you that, but also to tell you to enjoy the journey, because the journey is the reward. Think about the last 5 years. Didn't they go by fast? And if they did, what about the next 5? What about the next 10? Will you not be looking back and thinking, oh my god, this went by quick? I wish you all a happy life. I wish you all a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment in your journey, and I will see you next week. Bye.